what's going on, everyone? I know it's been a little while, as usual. Um, haven't really, haven't really been in the, I guess you could say, the right mood to want to do some of these videos sometimes. But I just really wanted to come on here real quick because uh, something quite interesting. Dealing with all the other videos that I've made in the past, I've made a lot of videos warning people about financial crisis in the future. Now, I know that there are hundreds of people on YouTube that make videos warning people about financial crises, and truthfully, there is one coming. It's pretty inevitable at this point. There's so much debt, you know. There's so much over leveraged companies and such, and also there's even a liquidity crisis among the banks, but nobody is going to tell you that. All right. Um, there's this new thing going on here now. Let me show you the right here where it talks about Coinbase. This is, mind you, this is the second time that this has happened with Coinbase glitching, showing $0 balances in people's accounts. Okay, the second time. This comes along with the fact that Bitcoin has literally gone straight to the freaking moon. Let's see where Bitcoin is sitting at right now. Yeah, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $67,000. Now, there's this thing called the Bitcoin halving cycle and whatnot, and there's a lot of people that say, oh, Bitcoin does this every so often, so many years. And normally, like, if we look on a larger chart here, look, it's expected to go up pretty damn high. Okay. Now, what's very weird about this is there was no correction. It just kept going up, 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 up. The correction should have came about right here somewhere is where the correction truthfully should have came. And then it should have went down about here and then gone up. But it hasn't. It's just going up and up and up. No correction, no correction, no correction, no correction. Just straight up. And why is that? Is because there is institutional demand for this asset, right? Now, mind you, I am not an investor in Bitcoin, nor will I ever be, okay? I don't hold any, and again, I won't, period. That's just my personal preference. I have nothing against anybody else that wants to hold Bitcoin. You do you, you do you. You hold whatever you want, free world and whatnot, free choices, free will in that aspect. But understand something here. Something feels very off here. And again, I'm no financial expert, but again, I'm pretty keen when danger is afoot. Okay. Now, I want to say about a year ago, when I made one of my last videos here, not many people seen the video. Probably can't even find the video. There's only 55 views on the video here, right? But on this video, I talk about a dream that I had. It was a very random dream. I wasn't thinking about Bitcoin. I wasn't thinking about crypto. I wasn't thinking about anything dealing with Bitcoin whatsoever. Because again, I don't care for Bitcoin. So I thought it was very weird that I would have a dream about Bitcoin. And again, this was, look at this. Let's see this date. January 24th, 2023. At about the 17 17-minute mark, which is kind of ironic because in one of the other videos that I made at the 1700 mark, I also called something that is happening right now as it is with the CBDCs. And it's just kind of funny how this kind of all correlates here, but I'll just play it for you instead of telling you a story. Recommend that you do this now, not tomorrow. Now. And again, obviously, February 1st. Sorry. And again, obviously, you can go back and see this video for yourself. Here it is. Beyond. Because I think by about March, something's going to happen. Because let me tell you, and this might not even be true or accurate or happen or whatever. Now, in this video, I said that something was going to happen by March. Now, during the year 2023, in March, something did happen. There was a whole lot of crypto, like it was bad. And something did happen in March. However, I think something also this March might also happen. And it won't just be in crypto, okay? By March 11th, the Federal Reserve is going to stop their bank lending program, their quote-unquote discount window, okay? They're not going to be able to borrow any money anymore. And I think it was about last year around that time where you were seeing things like when Bank of America, for instance, even though it was through quote-unquote Zelle services and whatnot, but it wasn't just Zelle services. There was a slight bail-in by Bank of America, but they'll never admit that, right? They'll never admit that. But that's truthfully what happened. All right, a lot of people weren't even getting their paychecks. All right, there is, like I said, there is a liquidity crisis, and there has been a liquidity crisis for so long. All right, and at this rate, there's just no way to fix it. The only way to fix it is to literally kill our own currency, which is the US dollar. Okay. Now, I don't make these rules, but that's the reality of the situation that we have here. But let me go on and continue with the video. But I had the most random dream several months ago that, long story short, it was like, I mean, everything was dark, all right? You know, in the background, I'm hearing all this euphoria going on and stuff. And then, you know, that's when I see the actual, you know, the symbol of Bitcoin and stuff. I see it, you know, it's going up. Everybody's all euphoric and everything. And then all of a sudden, everything freezes. And then I saw this flash of light. And then after the flash of light happened, there was a trail of blood going down to wherever, down into the abyss, basically. This long red trail of blood going down to the abyss, and I saw Bitcoin crash to nothing. Again, that was just a dream though. It might not be true. Yeah, it might not be true. However, we look here now, you know, everybody, I think, listen, I understand it's just a dream. I understand sometimes dreams are they're just dreams, okay? But to be perfectly honest with you, in my case, a lot of the time these dreams are not just dreams. This is not the first time I've had a dream like that. And I probably should have explained it more in that video when I did. A little more in depth. Because yeah, everybody was euphoric. Because I still remember that dream. Like, it was so vivid. It was so vivid. Like, I remember every little detail about it. But I did not explain that in that video because I was in a hurry trying to get through it. I wasn't even really going to talk about it at first. But something told me to. And I did. Okay. But I did not go into complete depth of it. All right. For the most part, what I just told you in that video is pretty much how it happened. However, as the token was rising, while everybody was all euphoric and, you know, and stuff in the background, you know, that black dark shadow just came up and started surrounding Bitcoin. as it was going up, 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 and it's just all bright and shiny and sparkly and yada yada yada, and then all of a sudden, boom! It was this huge that flash of light that I talked about, okay, and yes, there was a trail of blood, and it was going down to whatever. I mean, like literally down into like a black hole. Basically, I couldn't see where it was going. It was down so far, you know, but Bitcoin after this flash happened, in which I don't know what the flash. I mean, maybe a flash crash, a flash event, a black swan event, maybe possibly. I don't know. I don't know, but as I said, the token just started falling along that blood path down into the darkness, into the black hole. Okay, and that's pretty much, that was pretty much that. I mean, besides the fact that afterwards, when everybody was all euphoric, everybody was freaking out and everywhere, now I was hearing sounds. I wasn't seeing like actual things. I was hearing sounds. I was hearing like, people raving, like hell in the background. You know what I'm saying? Rioting or whatever, like just totally pissed off in the background as this token was going down. And then from there, I woke up. So like I said, very, very random, very random. And I know it was just a dream. Okay. But these things tend to not always be normal with me. Okay. When they just come randomly like that, it's a bit of a message sometimes. Okay. So yeah, I think it's pretty ironic, and then all of a sudden, here's Coinbase glitching to zero, showing zero balances in people's accounts again. Like, whoa, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't make any sense to anybody. Because basically, if there's enough Bitcoin, no matter how high the price goes, there should not be a quote unquote zero balance glitch. But then again, as I just posted on Twitter, I think it's something is just kind of really weird here, because from what I know, there is a lot of institutions that are using Coinbase as a buffer to do their bidding with their ETFs, especially like BlackRock and so on and so forth. And from what I've seen, when you look at this BlackRock ETF, like it says $30, even though the price of Bitcoin is outrageous. It's $60,000 damn dollars plus. So it's like, whoa, wait a minute now. What's going on here? I think it's just really weird, those low prices like that. Now, again, I'm no financial expert when it comes to these ETFs and all this other shit and everything, because I'm absolutely not. But I think it's just kind of weird how this is this is the second time that this has happened. And I think it's also really weird because certain times of the night, like right now, these prices, they like this about like right here. This is where was it? It was about here. I'm looking at a big chart. Hold on, let me go on a lower chart here. I'm going on a lower chart. All right. It was about, where was it? It was about right here at this buy signal right here. Last night, it was just like by the time I got here, none of these were moving. There was no trading going on. It's like trading almost came to a halt. And then I wake up in the morning, boom, this bitch shot up all the way up to 68 freaking K from here. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Literally from, let's see, March 3rd. So in about 2 days, in about 2 days, this thing went all the way up to 64. So it was probably actually about here. I think it was, my bad. Yeah, it was about 64 or something, but whatever. It went all the way up to 68K. All right, it went up another like 6-7% in like no time flat. Okay. So there is a massive demand for this. And here's the other thing that's very concerning here. When it comes to Bitcoin, people say that Bitcoin is a store of value, right? Because otherwise, Bitcoin has no use case. It's too slow. It costs too much. You can't use it for no kind of payment system whatsoever or anything. I mean, they call it digital gold, but just like there's only so much of it. Okay, the supply is low, and right now there's all this talk about about a supply shock and whatnot, right? Well, I think it's just kind of ironic because what was it? I saw another video where the guy showed a graph of the price of Bitcoin, and it showed the reserves of Coinbase, and this was about 2 years ago, but the reserves of Coinbase was going in the opposite direction of the price, which means if we're seeing glitches, I mean, this is just me thinking and whatnot, trying to see the bigger picture here. Um, if that's the case, and we're seeing stuff like this happening where people have zero balances, especially on the Coinbase exchange, all right, Grayscale, BlackRock alone, um, there was a couple others I can't remember their names, but a lot of big ones, mostly all use Coinbase. So every time we have this huge blast off of the price after it completely slows down, so that means that the entire market is being manipulated right now when it slows down like that. I mean, I understand trading drops off at night, everybody's going to sleep, whatever and whatever. Okay, I understand that. But I mean, there's been no correction, no true correction in this price yet. So there is a massive amount of buying going on. Excuse me. By these institutions, and then once again, this is zero balance happens every time it spikes like that overnight, another 6-7% and whatnot, and it keeps happening through Coinbase, which is the main one that people use. And truthfully, in America, Coinbase is about the only legit thing that we have left. All the other sites then blocked us, so a lot of us can't even use it without having a freaking VPN or something, right? Or or we signed up before it was banned and whatnot. Because because even ones like MEXC, like we used to be able to still sign up and use MEXC, but now we can't even do that. It kicks you off the site every time you try to go on and sign up. You'll say, sorry, you're in the United States. We don't do that. Goodbye. And just literally it just kicks you off. Okay. So we don't really have too many other, like I said, legit, quote unquote legit, places to purchase these assets. And the fact that, they're all using Coinbase, whatever, because what I think is happening, because like I said, it doesn't, besides Bitcoin being a store of value, it has no use case. It has no use case, and that's the biggest problem. What are you gonna do with Bitcoin besides, basically move it elsewhere, wherever the hell that is, or whatever, get rich off it, etc. I don't know, whatever. But I think it's just kind of ironic. I think what's happening is the same thing that that's happening with the banks. It's almost like the identical type of thing happening, like a liquidity crisis. Like the money that you put in your banks, it's not really there. It's not there. You put it in, they loan it out, and they raise your digits another time. That's why sometimes it takes a while for your balance to show correctly and whatnot. Um, And I know I'm just gonna get shadow banned again for talking about this, but somebody's got to. But yeah. So I think they're just buying. What they're doing is, first of all, they're trying to. It seems like they're trying to purposely dry up the liquidity of Bitcoin, right? Now, again, I am no expert, nor am I any kind of true psychic or whatever. But if I can find it, I tend to do random things like this out of nowhere. And again, this was a year ago, and I posted this photo, and I also posted this photo, okay? Because understand, without this, there's no this. Okay, these two right here need each other. They literally go hand in hand. All right, and these aren't the only ones either. Ethereum is in trouble too. But here's the thing: Bitcoin and Ethereum, in my opinion, are just are and were just basically a test, an experiment per se, a dirty experiment, you know. So because I mean, if this is really true, then that means there really is no Bitcoin in these people's accounts. It's showing that it's there, but it's probably not really there. That's why it keeps showing zero balance. The computer is not stupid. The computer is just relaying what, it's just doing what it does. It's just doing what it's programmed to do. Okay? And the computer is telling you, the algorithm or whatever the hell they're using, okay, that you have no Bitcoin in your account. Or whatever token is missing. That it's not really, it's really and truly not there. And again, it goes with this whole supply shock deal. So with these huge companies buying up this Bitcoin, like by the billions of freaking dollars, more than they've bought up freaking gold. Okay. It seems like, again, they're trying to buy up the entire supply. They're trying to buy up all the supply so that they can control it, basically. It's always about control, right? But there's other tokens that solve this matter. So it seems like they're trying to cause this problem to bring out the actual solution. They know the solution is there. All right, they don't want to talk about it. They can't talk about it, but I feel like they know exactly what's going on and what they're doing and why they're doing it. All right, problem, reaction, solution. They're creating the problem right now by drying up this Bitcoin and yada yada yada, and then everybody's gonna try to get in on it, fighting over it and shit and everything. You're gonna see all these big financial institutions fighting over it, and then next thing you know, they're probably gonna be trying to take it from people, zero balances, and so on and so forth. And then and then of course, here comes the reaction to that. People are gonna be pissed off, whatever, blah blah blah. While at the same time, you might have something else crazy going on, such as, especially after March 11th, once again, that month, March, wow, something about that month that they like, that there could be multiple things going on at the same time, financially destructive. Okay, because one, they're going to starve people, is how I see this. They're going to starve people so much financially that people are going to be practically begging them for a solution. All right. And meanwhile, they've been on the back end of it, unknowingly. They've been getting you interested in their actual future solution, but you don't quite know that just yet. Some of us do, the ones that can see the big picture and know what's really going on, because again, Bitcoin and Ethereum are not, you can't do anything with. They cost too much, they're too slow, like, have you seen those fees? Ethereum fees still suck. All right, the Lightning Network on Bitcoin doesn't work, etc. It's just they're no good. It's like they were literally made for experiments at this point. And as I did show in that last video in here, when I talked about all these coins, I think these utility tokens are going to be what they're truly after, in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. That's how I see it. You do your own research on that and everything. But yeah, I really think that that's how it's going to play out. They're going to bring out their solution, and the solution is going to be ISO. Is going to be those utility tokens, right? Because the higher price that Bitcoin goes, that money after a while it bleeds down into altcoins, and I think altcoins are actually going to outperform Bitcoin this time, even though Bitcoin is going absolutely parabolic. But obviously that's because they're buying up all the supply, yada yada yada. But it doesn't matter. And then afterwards, once all these big players and big institutions and stuff start getting inside, of the crypto world, like once they really get in, like they're gonna be like a kid in a candy store. And I think they're just gonna go buck wild on some of these, and especially utility tokens that provide real world solutions, as the CEO of Ripple has constantly said over and over. They have the solution. They know they have the solution. But yet it's kind of ironic that they were the only one that was stopped in their tracks by the SEC. Now, is that really just a coincidence? No, of course not. I can see the whole picture. It's all a game. It's all a game. Okay? It's all a game. The SEC already knows what's going on. That's why every time Gensler gets put in the hot seat in front of Congress, he can't answer any questions. He can't say anything. He's not supposed to. He's not allowed to. All right? So, yeah. Things are getting crazy. Times are changing. The world is changing. People are changing. Everything is changing. This is a bit outside of what I wanted to talk about in this video, but that's pretty much what's happening right now. Is the earth is splitting. All right, the earth is splitting, and all these videos you're starting to see, these glitches, these real glitches, and so on and so forth. I mean, you're living in a simulation. That's all I can tell you. But some people think that these UFOs, a lot of them are just, Project Bluebeam and so on and so forth. Some of it might be. However, and again, I am not the first one to say that all those, the messengers, basically, the messengers are here. They're coming back. They're coming back. They were called back. Basically, they know what time it is. All right, they've been knowing what time it is. And again, I'm not the first one to say that. There's been people, several others in the past that's known that before me. I only found out through my own sources and such. Okay, through my own quote unquote connections and so on and so forth. All right, so yeah, things are about to get really interesting. All right. Things are about to get interesting. And it's all going to start here. Excuse the train. Sorry. But yeah, it's all going to start here in this country. All right? It's all going to start here. It's always been about here. All right? It's always been about here. That's why now you see all these migrants trying to pour into the U.S. I mean, I think it's kind of fucked up that, all the jobs have been shipped overseas, and people overseas are coming here now, taking the jobs. They come here on aid, on like highly paid aid, and it's that ain't no secret. You can just see that. I've seen entire neighborhoods of migrants from East India, and they all set up like their own neighborhoods. Like, you go in there, there's nothing but them, and these are not just small houses, okay? No. They got Mercedes-Benz in the driveway. Some of them got some, they got Audis, BMWs. Some of them have some Maseratis. Some have some nice ass cars, right? And these are not small houses. 4,000 square foot, 5,000 square foot. Where are they getting that money from? How are they able to come from overseas in another place and buy up everything that we have in this country, been here longer, have worked our asses off for several years, and we can't get it now? Because now our asses is basically slaving off to them. Or how is it that, like, I mean, like, literally, I've seen all just nothing but migrants living in these big ass houses. People that did not originate in the U.S. Okay? And they all, like, got these nice ass places while we're struggling now to make ends meet. That's pretty fucked up. But I know it. They're coming here on this good money, because there's no way that they were poor as hell in their other country and come here and they're basically damn near rich. Wow. But again, it's got to be all part of the big picture, all part of the big macro plan, right? Including the still current President Trump cough. But yeah, so all right, I think I've said enough here. They don't like me talking as it is, so yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. It's very interesting, to say the least, especially with this whole ordeal with the Coinbase thing. And I feel like these are Wall Street players that are getting in and doing this with Coinbase. Okay? These are Wall Street players. And what's very interesting about that is, they talk about ETFs, and behind ETFs there's insurance, and sometimes when those things are not insured, or assets become a bit too overdrawn, or so on and so forth, things happen, and when one big player falls, it can cause an entire system to fall, unless it's propped up with a bunch of phony money. But that ain't gonna work this time, because there is no money. Gold prices suppressed, silver prices are suppressed, everything is suppressed. But again, they have this solution. ODL, on demand liquidity. You hear that? On demand liquidity. So that tells me that the crisis is going to be from a liquidity crisis. A credit freeze up, lock up, done, zero, no money, nothing. Yeah. So, all right. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about on this one, y'all. We'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.